welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a mistake I made recently with buying shoes to resell, which is buying the X Crocs. I bought the black colorway, which is like the Sasquatch, I think that's what they're called. Sorry for the noise. That's what they look like. Some of these Crocs do have really good resale. See, it's like different color in the front. Some of these Crocs do have really good resale, but for these ones specifically, I made a big mistake, and that was buying before checking prices. Now, that's like a big thing in resale. You always need to know what the price of a shoe is, because with these ones specifically, I think it's close to $100, and resale is at like $90 for the size 10, which is what I got. Now, a thing that you could do is try to trade it to recover some money, or you can find people locally. I know sometimes locally you can find really good people to sell to besides selling online, because selling online prices aren't that good. I mean, there's short stores like StockX and Go where you're not going to get your money's worth. So that's like a big mistake I made, and something you guys need to watch out for is checking prices and also seeing the demand. Are you seeing people who want it on Instagram or on TikTok, or are you seeing people talk about it on Twitter and places like that? It's a big mistake you can make. I've made it in the past too, just buying shoes purely off hype. I bought Supreme Air Forces in the wheat color, and that was a bad decision too. I lost like $20-$30 just because certain shoes are hard to sell. And especially in like the times we're in now, you really have to look at prices, look at demand, see if there's hype behind it. And I just jumped in immediately because it's like, oh, it's a Croc collab, and there's other shoes previously that had really good resale with it. I think the silver colorway is selling at like $70 over retail. And yeah, like, I mean, sure, the shoe sold out, and I got it, and there is somewhat a demand for it, but not at the prices that I would want. And then especially since I live in like a smaller town, it's kind of hard to sell shoes like this that but shoes that not everybody would really want. And that's a big thing. And so that's kind of like a mistake I made, and like a thing that you guys should look out for people who want to start reselling. You got to make sure you look at demand and how much you're paying. If like you check StockX and you see the shoe, it has a lot of demand, but it's only selling at $30 over retail, then it's kind of like, is it worth it to you? Because you got to pay for shipping, there's wait times, and prices may go up or down depending on how many get released. There's stock numbers. You have to look at all those numbers before really jumping in and buying a shoe. I think I got these off of the actual Crocs website, which I think it was a raffle, and I just entered purely off of hype, and that was it. I didn't really look at any of the actual numbers. I just looked at the shoes that I could compare it to, which were other Crocs of this design. And that's how I made a big mistake, and how I'll most likely end up losing probably $10 to $15, which isn't like a crazy number, but every profit matters, especially when you're first starting and you're trying to stack your money so you get those more hype shoes or get multiple pairs. Now, I may be able to get these off locally, which I still have to try for. I mean, they got delivered probably 2 weeks ago, and I really haven't got many messages, but I probably haven't tried hard enough or checked local stores to see if they're buying. But that is something you guys must look out for, and something that you have to do, because, I mean, these Crocs, sure, they're nice. I mean, they are my size, so worst come to worst, I could keep them. But, I mean, you would think more people would want these. Maybe if I lived in a bigger city, it might have been easier to sell. But because of that, I made the mistake and bought too early. So, yes, as a reseller, or as someone who wants to get into reselling and just starting, you have to make sure you look for hype, demand, and stock numbers. These are very important things, and what like justify a price for a shoe. There's things like the lost and found Jordan 1s, which we made a video on previously, that didn't have that much supply but had a lot of demand and had a lot of hype around it, which is why the resale price is double what retail is. So when reselling, you have to look at those prices and have to look at those things to make sure you're paying attention so you get the most profit and maximize all your numbers. Yeah, so that's kind of just a short video going over how I made a mistake in reselling and what I would do better next time. Okay, so yeah, that was just a short video talking about how I made a mistake and mistakes that you guys can avoid when buying shoes to make sure you guys don't end up losing money. And in the beginning, these things that you have to pay attention to and things you have to learn, which come over time too. A lot of prices and stock numbers that you'll either see online can sometimes be falsified. So you have to make sure you just pay attention to the small things and small details to make sure you don't lose money. And these are just things that I wish I would have known when first starting reselling. Because in the beginning, I did lose money on a bunch of different shoes, just not paying attention and buying into the hype. So, yeah, and like the NFT community, they would call it FOMO. You don't want FOMO when buying shoes. So you need to think like a level head. But that's just, like I said, a short video on things that I would do better next time and things to pay attention to. Thanks to everybody for watching. Like, subscribe if you guys want more. And I'll be releasing a video talking more about upcoming shoes that you guys want to be paying attention to, that you guys want to get your hands on, either for personal and for reselling too. And I'm also making guides on how to cop like I did for the Jordan 11s. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and peace.